All right, all right. I just want to say thank you. Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to be here. We have an incredible, incredible night this evening. It's all about the speech on Monday nights at 9 a.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we definitely go 24-hour circles here. But what is most important is we have incredible guests. Tonight, it's all about the speech. Any of you that have decided, I want to make a difference in the world, I want to speak on stage, and I want to move hearts and souls with my words, well, this is the place to start. Now, a lot of us that are on here are from Toastmasters organization. That's internationally known, and you can probably find one in your area. You just Google Toastmasters and it will come up. Well, the interesting part about it is tonight, my co-host, who's an amazing coach when it comes to the voice and to public speaking, he comes in with tips we both do to start with, and then we always have special guests. And I can't wait to introduce our special guest tonight. But right now, let's get started with our tips and with some main things happening on. But let's first get started with my co-host, Mr. Shawn Walker.
And yes, I'm excited to be here on another Monday night at 9 with Christine. We come here every Monday night at 9. We have an amazing time. And tonight I want to just talk briefly about some of the tips that I have. And some of the tips that I'm going to be talking about tonight is communication tips. And I'm just going to go over 5 tips that will be helpful to anyone that wants to improve their communication skills. Starting with number 1, public speaking and presentation. Employers look for this skill in individuals. And sometimes when you're in an organization or corporation, they want you to deliver a speech or give a presentation in front of a large group. And this can be uncomfortable for most. However, once you learn this skill, this will give you the self-confidence to go inside and deliver the speech and make your company or yourself look really, really good. Number 2 is persuasive. That's right, not manipulative, but persuasive. This is where you get an opportunity to draw a picture with an individual or a group or audience. By doing so, you help them to see the bigger picture and allow them to make an informed decision or to kind of see it your way. But persuasive, not manipulating. That's what we do as speakers. My tip number 3, which is my greatest. Most leaders use this, and it is interpersonal skills. That's right. I'm talking about those interpersonal skills where we deal with friends, we deal with coworkers, we deal with family. The basis of this to ensure we have a mutual understanding and we are connecting with the individuals that we are talking with. That's right, baby. We use those interpersonal skills. That's right. Number 4 is one of the reasons why I joined Toastmaster and I became exceptionally great at it is listening skills. That's right. Listen. This gives us an opportunity because listening is really a treasure. When you have the ability to remove the distraction and hone in and find someone's need, or maybe give them some advice or a solution, that's where your listening skills come into play. And last, tip number 5 is communicating with empathy. To put ourselves in another person's shoes, to see what it feels like. It helps us to understand where they are coming from. Most importantly, it builds trust. So remember those 5 tips, and you too can be a great communicator. And this has been another moment with Shawn. Back to you,
Oh,
Christine.
those are excellent, excellent skills. I wrote some notes and I really loved the way you expressed it. Just like this, I'm going to always remember to try to hone in and listen. So thank you so much. I have just a few, probably about 4 or 5 tips, but we're going to talk about, you know what you want to wear on stage, but is it really right for you? And get it, the color of your clothing can have a significant impact on your audience's assumption of you. Okay, so here's some best colors to wear. If you want to dress for power, deep, dark colors tend to elude more power than the bright colors. So if you want to come, see, I'm wearing, I'm the friendly one, you know? So if you want to come across as intelligent, credible presenter, stick with the dark colors like black, charcoal, deep taupe, gray, or dark blue. And these colors, they're heavier, they come across more authoritative. If you want to excite an audience, okay, now get this. If you giving a presentation, it's less formal and more upbeat, you want to wear a color that's going to reach everyone and grab the audience's attention. So, of course, I have red. And red has been shown to increase heart rates and excite an audience. Yellow is another attentive grabber. It's great for stimulating mental activity and retaining attention. Now, purple is often perceived as a luxurious color that can boost creativity. These brighter hues, they're great for presentations and they're meant to excite and persuade the audiences. You want to build trust and confidence? Then blue is the calming color to use and has been associated with tranquility and trust. And green can also be perceived as warm, nurturing because it reminds us of nature. Gray is most neutral and can work with anything, any informative presentations as well. So to sum it up, if you want white, that's the color of calm and purity. So if you want to look clean and sharp and together, wear something white. The darker shades of blue pose less risk as they barely have any downsides, and all of those other colors. It's the rainbow of what you wear on stage that makes you, your branding, you, that everybody can't wait to come out and listen to. So with that, we are going to head on. And Shawn, I mean, you gave such great tips. I'm just so proud of you with all these wonderful tips. And I just try to piggyback on that.
Well, you do a great job, Christine. I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to lead the way.
You do. And that's what I say. What's your tips, Shawn? So I know what I'm going to talk about. And I appreciate that. So right now, moving forward, we have a lot of us that have been thinking about going on stage. Toastmasters, maybe you're in the closet giving speeches to yourself while you're in the shower instead of singing. But are you ready to be a speaker? And the reason we ask this, we're serious. This is an excellent platform. What we do with 9 at Night is that you go ahead and you speak on this stage. It's recorded. It's put on our website, 9atnight.com, as well as on a Facebook page, and you're published. That's like having a published book. So you can say, yeah, I've spoken professionally, and that's what we capture. Right now, we have an excellent, excellent guest we're going to introduce. And Shawn, I want to thank you for inviting one of my favorite people. And she definitely has made a mark with her ways in public speaking and with Toastmasters. And so a little bit about Verna. She is, I just can't say enough because she's all over the place. I texted her a couple of days ago. She's in the air flying somewhere or something, but that's just Verna. And she's a distinguished Toastmaster, Verna Bonaby. She has been a Toastmaster since June of 2009. She's a member of 5 clubs and serves on a club leadership team of 4 of them. She has served in almost every role at the club level and has served as a district level as district graphic artist, Area 92 director, and Division 1 director in 2020 and 2021. She was recognized as District 47 Division Director of the Year. Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. Distinguished Toastmaster Bonaby is now serving as the District 47 Club Growth Director for 22-23. She enjoys reading, listening to music, traveling, and some relaxing quiet time every now and then. I don't know how she gets that quiet time. So live, laugh, and love. Those are my favorite phrases. For tomorrow is not promised. So I'm going to say it one more time. This is one of her favorite sayings. Live, laugh, love, for tomorrow is not promised. And she encourages persons to embrace life, show and give love, and live each day to the fullest. And with that, we can't wait to bring on Verna Bonaby. Verna. There she is. She's relentless too. Whoa, look at that background.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, Shawn and Christine. It's a pleasure to be here with you. 9 at night on the air.
Thank you. Oh, we're excited because we're going to turn it over to you and you're going to take the stage and we get to pay attention while your words will ring magic in the air. I just want to say, I can't believe that is an incredible honor for you to be Division Director of the Year.
Yes, that it was indeed an honor. Because if you remember, I took over as Division Director. COVID, we were in the middle. COVID, we had gone from in-person and had to go into a virtual setting. So it was an adjustment for everyone. People hated the Zoom platform. A lot of persons didn't understand it. For me, because I'm in the Bahamas, and a lot of my clubs, especially my smaller clubs and what we call our family islands, it's not like in Florida where you can drive to Key West or drive further down to Boca. We literally have to fly. And so the virtual platform allowed me to meet with those club members and all of those family islands. So we were able to get in there and we were able to do training. We were able to hear concerns. We were able to say, hey, there's potential there. So, I mean, for me, that's one of the positive things that came out of the COVID-19 environment. It really demonstrated that we really are a Toastmasters family, and we got to hear from every single person that came on that platform. You know,
that's impressive. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to you, Ms. Verna, and we can't wait. So thank you so much for taking the stage.
Okay, now, what do I want to talk about this evening? We're here as Toastmasters, and Shawn, this is all I'm going to say. A lot of people hear the word Toastmasters and they automatically say, oh, all you all do is you all just talk. I just want to say to our Toastmasters out there, to our prospective Toastmasters, to anyone that is listening, Toastmasters is about so much more than just talking, because we all know that everybody's goal isn't to go on the world stage and become that public speaker or that motivational speaker. Being a part of the Toastmasters program does allow you to develop and to overcome that shyness, to build your confidence levels. I remember a time when I worked behind the scenes. I have no problem with that. I would work, I'd be endless, but to be in front of the camera, to even be here in this environment, say, I'm talking and persons are listening, like me? No. When I gave my first icebreaker, I introduced myself and said, my name is Verna Bonaby and I'm shy. Everybody laughed, but not anymore, no longer. But I like to tell people, Shawn, that I was a reluctant Toastmaster. I didn't join the program voluntarily. When my club was being chartered, I was a part of the union executive. And so, no, they signed me up and voluntold me. You know, that's a Toastmasters term that we use. And in my first few years in the program, I may have attended 1 meeting, 2 meetings, 3, but it wasn't until we had one of the District 47 executives visiting the Bahamas, and I had to attend. My union president and the secretary general were out of town. I stood in front of that room and gave the welcome, and Shawn still, heart was going, bubba, bubba. I mean, my throat was dry, and I was sure that everybody could see me shaking. When I was done after the meeting, everybody congratulated, nice speech, good call. I was like, "Really?" And I started to pay more attention. I would sit at the back of the room, just take notes. I would listen to the evaluations that were given. And I found myself subconsciously, when I got back to the office or in my community organizations, just remembering, okay, eye contact. And slowly, I started to feel it. And let me tell you, when I decided to dive in, it was over. You see that name up there? My club, the year I became president, they gave me that name. They said, do you sleep? Do you sleep? And for me, I learned that it is a journey of growth, self-development. In Toastmasters, you learn, yes, those communication skills. You learn your communication styles, your leadership styles. And in learning your communication and leadership styles, you also learn the styles of those around you. It helps with those interpersonal relationships. It helps with team building, whether you are leading the team or you're a part of the team, because you've now learned to recognize that everyone doesn't communicate. That person at the back of the room who never raises his or her hand and who you initially may have thought, this person antisocial, they don't want to communicate. You're like, they're shy. You just have to go and pull at them a little hard and say, oh, come on, Christine. I know you have an idea. I heard you telling your coworker, share it with us. So you have to coax that person a little more. And when they open up, you'll be like, oh my God. So you learn those different communication styles, those different leadership styles. Another thing that I love about Toastmasters is the evaluations. And Shawn mentioned it earlier, the listening skills. Because you find so often that people hear you, they listen to you, but do they get it? They're so busy formulating a response to the first part of what they heard, they totally miss what it is that you're actually trying to convey. And when Toastmasters, we hone and we develop those listening skills, those evaluation and feedback skills. There's nothing worse than you're at work and it's time for your annual performance review and your supervisor doesn't get it. They're da, da, da. So they're not assessing you. They're not evaluating you based on what you're bringing to the table. They're evaluating you because, Christine is a little prettier than I am, so I'm not going to give her a good evaluation. And she's got on that nice red suit. She's a junior staff. How can she afford that suit, that name brand? And I only have my little Target clothes. And so things like that, as opposed to effectively giving you an evaluation. And then Toastmasters, what I love about the program is it's hands-on. So in Toastmasters, we learn by doing. We don't have someone stand in front of the room and say, oh, you have to do this and your body language, and you want to use your stage. We can do that, but we learn by doing. And over the past several years, the Toastmasters program has evolved with the times. So we have what we call Pathways, our educational program. And one of the things that I love about it, this podcast is actually my next project. I am going to learn to do a podcast thanks to Pathways. And in Toastmasters, you have strategic planning, project management, interview preparation. And it might not be an interview for a new job. Think about it. There is a promotion coming up that you are looking at. You have a project that helps you compose yourself, be comfortable. These are the top 3 things you want to say, what you bring to the table. Toastmasters. Cultural diversity. emotional intelligence. Those are things that you get an introduction to in Toastmasters. Mentoring. There is nothing more important than having a good mentor, whether it's in your personal life, it's on the job, and Toastmasters, that seasoned person, that older person who's there to help, to nurture, and to guide you. Toastmasters offers you mentors. They offer you an entire club, family, and network of persons who are there for you, not only in the club meetings, but outside the club. I remember in 2018, when I became club president, July 1, the year started. And July 12th, my dad died, heart attack, unexpectedly. Let me tell you, that was one of the most traumatic times. I didn't know how I would function. And then trying to be strong for my mom and my family. Shawn and Christine, I want to say to you that my Toastmasters family, they rallied behind me. They were like, hey, you're relentless as kids. And they were there. They supported me. They called, they came by. I remember going into the club and they were like, why are you here? And I'm like, but I'm on the agenda. I have to finish my speech. And I gave a speech. I walked in, hair not combed, and wearing my dad's bedroom slippers. And my speech was, who is going to fill these shoes? And they were there. They were there. And I encourage persons anywhere, become a part of the Toastmasters program. Toastmasters can help you in your workplace. When we say you develop that self-confidence, you will find yourself hands raised, volunteering, leading the panel discussion, taking on, so you know what, I will help organize the staff benefit. Things that you would have sat behind the scenes. You will find yourself, you have ideas. I have an idea. You won't sit timidly and say, I should have said. Self-confidence, we know that can be taught, but you learn that, you develop that in Toastmasters. And we talked about the feedback and the evaluation earlier. It's positive, and it's designed to help you to grow. Not be negative and say, oh, Christine, you shouldn't have said that. It's like, Christine, I loved your presentation. I love to hear the birds singing, listening to you. I could see the sunlight rippling, on the water. And I got that from your presentation. So I'm giving you that positive feedback. And then he said, but one of the things I would have liked to hear, what happened? Who really interrupted you? You whetted our appetite. You started us up. You didn't finish. And so that is what I would have liked to hear. Just, you teased us, but tell us a bit more. And then you come back again and you say, but overall, I just want to say again, it was a great story, and your smile, and you just had us from hello. And so you give that feedback, and the feedback is designed to help you to grow, to help you to become better. So never, ever to criticize. And then we have the networking. Toastmasters come from all walks of life. We are ordinary persons and on an extraordinary journey. So we have firefighters, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have teachers, we have nurses, we have clerical staff, office professionals. Everywhere you look, you can find a Toastmaster. So I needed some help getting my business license done. There's a Toastmaster that works in that department. You needed some help. You needed approval from another bank. DPM XXX works at that bank. It's a Toastmasters family. It's a family. And I would just like to say, being a part of this program, it really got me out of my shell. Persons thought that I was joking when I gave that icebreaker and I said, my name is Verna Bonaby. and I'm shy. They laughed, but I was really serious. I would not. No, if someone had said to me, you're going to take on the role of president, then you're going to take on the role of area director, then you're going to go for the visitor. Like, me? No. And one of the other good things that I want to tell you that I like about this program, when you become a mentor to someone, that is it's a huge responsibility. It's like, I think it's like a parent and you have children, you're mentoring, your influence can impact, can shape how this person turns out. And I had the opportunity, I shared on my Facebook page that my mentee, she joined the club the same year that I became president, and she was assigned to me. Dictionary, you want to see shy? There was her photo. But she was so willing, so receptive to learning. She had this creative mind. And that was in 2018, 2019. Can I say to you how she has blossomed? I remember exactly what I wrote. She's written a book because she calls herself the empowerment catalyst. She speaks to young women, you know, who may have that low self-esteem and that to say, hey, love yourself. You are important. And this Toastmasters program, she says, gave her voice, the courage to stand and do that. So she's written a book, which has hit the best-selling list on Amazon. I saw her on a flyer with something that Les Brown, yes, the Les Brown was doing. I'm like, go, girl. She was on a podcast with, I think, someone in South Africa. I'm like, okay. She's now serving as president of my own club. And guess what? This past Friday night, she took first place in the evaluation speech contest. Totally outside. You would get her to be a functionary to serve in those roles. We said, Madam President, you have to do it. You know, we volunteered her. She was nervous, she was afraid, but she stepped up and an amazing job. And that's the power of Toastmasters. The little engine that could. Yeah, I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. That's this program. And so even for persons who are out there and saying they're professional speakers, the Toastmasters program can help to augment, enhance what it is that you already know. You are there, you know, you're that diamond in the rough. And Toastmasters is that polishing cloth. The more you shine, the brighter it comes through. You have a lot of people stand up and they speak and whatever, but Toastmasters, it gives you that added push in there. It helps you make that impact. They like to tell us, open with a powerful statement, grab the audience's attention. Body language, your gestures. Interact with your audience, connect with them. And they might have some other programs that think that they could teach it to you, but nobody does it like Toastmasters can. Nobody does it. I would recommend anyone become a part of this program. It can only help you to build, to become the best version of yourself that you can be. And then in turn, you can share what you have learned. And it's a cycle. It keeps growing. And it helps with what is our district mission, to build new clubs and to support our clubs in achieving excellence. Why build new clubs? Because we want the opportunity for more persons to experience what we are experiencing, to share in this amazing program. And the fact that Toastmasters this year, we're turning 99. 99 years of consistent, quality teaching and training. That's not an easy feat. Many have started and fallen by the wayside. Toastmasters are still standing tall. It's still standing tall, and I think better for having embraced this program. I am one of those who I don't have the slightest desire to become an international, world-renowned speaker on the stage. I just like to share my story, share part of my journey, how being part of the Toastmasters organization has helped me. It helped me learn patience. I used to tease persons and say, you know, my patience is like my height, short. I'm 5'1". But the listening skills and being involved with persons and realizing that everybody does not go at the same pace. We have the same goal. And once our end results are going to be the same, we just allow them to run and try it their way. If it doesn't work, then we'll try it another way. We put our heads together, and we learn that from team building. We learn that from the team building components. I have a vision that we can implement Toastmasters, throughout the length and breadth, not of the country, of the world, because, Toastmasters, District 47, we're in Southeast Florida and the Bahamas. So we want it to be implemented. It would be something if we could get it implemented in some of the schools. And I know my DTM Shawn is doing some amazing things with the young persons. And some of the things that he's learning Toastmasters and that we teach in our youth leadership programs, because it's so important that we get to the young people while they are still young people, and we can help to bend and mold them and point them in that right direction. We can't wait until they're already in those 20s and set in their ways and say, listen, they look at you like, are you crazy? So Toastmasters offers that as well, that opportunity to teach those communication skills to young persons so that they learn how to communicate with each other, to listen, slow down that anger, to think about other solutions and other options. That's the power of the Toastmasters program. That's it.
I'm telling you, that is Verna Bonaby.
Boy, you're on fire, girl. I just loved listening to every word. Your heart and soul are just right out there. And yes, that word behind you is just powerful. And that's Verna Bonaby, for sure.
And like you,
not giving up.
What you said, Verna, was so important. When you first decide to take this journey, it is a fearful journey, because when I remember coming to Toastmasters and getting called up for a table topic, I was in a club with Lois, and like you say, we are from all different backgrounds. And me being a business owner that was finally exposed to all these different backgrounds, and I had the opportunity to speak. And I know I could talk, but I froze. 2.5 minutes. All these thoughts are running through my mind. I'm like, I know how to speak. But for that moment, I couldn't say a word. But I learned something that day. I developed courage and I developed self-confidence. And when I walked from up there, I say, this will never happen again. So, and it hasn't happened since that day. And that was what ignited my passion to do what I do.
I love it.
I love these stories too. I just love it. My story is I was a single mom for 15 years and I went to college during that time at the beginning to teach my kids. You go to college. And I did take a public speaking course and I was just all over the place. And I actually ended up with an A in it. It didn't mean anything that just like you, I just started. I just heard, and Verna doesn't know this, I just heard about Toastmasters for the very first time in my life last April. Or no, it's March, right before that. So my full year will be up in April 1st is my first year. And I wanted so badly to catch up. I joined 8 clubs, area director, just so I could learn faster. And it's helped me because it's what I was seeking. I've always worked on my own. I've never worked as a team. And my business, my day business is all about team. And I made a lot of mistakes. So Toastmasters is my answer. And I'm still going forward. So when I see both of you, distinguished Toastmaster Shawn Walker, distinguished Toastmaster Verna Bonaby, it is incredible the time that you were lucky to have it all those years and be where you are today. So me playing catch up, chasing after you guys so I could get there. You know, I am little by little, but it's been the best thing, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Now, Verna, you said something that was so profound. In fact, you said a lot of things that were so profound. I mean, your words were so vivid. I enjoyed when you spoke about feedback. We give feedback. We don't give criticism because that's often mistaken for what we do. We give feedback, and it's positive feedback. And the feedback we give is based upon improving one's character, not to tear down character. We're not in the business of tearing people down. We're in the business of building people up.
Exactly.
It's often mistaken because people think we criticize. We don't do that. We give you feedback. How can you improve? It also something you talked about that I was, you talked about the network that we have in Toastmasters. In fact, we're in 31, countries, Toastmasters. Yes. I'm also, I checked with Andy Burns, Dr. Burns told me. We are that large of a network. We're everywhere. In fact, Toastmaster meetings are going on right now on other sides of the world, and it's multiple clubs that are meeting right now, just like what we do.
Shawn, sorry, I shook my head, right? We're not in 31 countries. We're in 140 plus countries. 140 plus countries, not 30 countries for Toastmasters. We really are Toastmasters international. We are really international. We are all over.
That's right. It's 141.
140 plus, yeah. So we're in 140 plus countries. A Toastmaster is everywhere. We are everywhere.
And this is a club growth director. You see that?
God, you know, it's interesting enough. I heard the word Toastmasters, and I live in Idaho. So when you guys start your meetings at 8 at 6 a.m. where I'm at, and it's okay. I couldn't find anybody local. So I Googled and through internet who I could talk with, and it brought me to Florida, Club Awesome. And I used to live in Florida years ago. So it felt like a home base. It's amazing how, and then the district level, every leader I've met, it's like, wow, this is a nice social circle to be in because everybody's so incredible.
And supportive. Very, very, very supportive. Very supportive.
Once you and you can see the network is like once you are established and once you're serving and once you get to know other Toastmasters, it's good. I encourage all Toastmasters to go visit a club in another state because and not just in another state, you can go to another country.
Exactly.
Thanks to Zoom work that we have this capability now to go to another country and attend a meeting. And it's just like you're in your own meeting because you will be treated just as if you were in your own home club.
Yeah, I'm in the Bahamas, and the fifth club, four of the clubs in the fifth club that I happen to be a member of is located in Las Vegas. I visited Las Vegas in person in 2019. I was at a conference, and the one free evening that we had, and everyone laughed at me. Everyone was like, we're going to go, because we were staying at Caesar's Palace. And everyone was like, we're going to the casino, we're going to the strip. What time are you coming down? And I'm like, and that's me saying to them, right? Because the wasn't that, because I said, I'm going to a Toastmasters meeting. Yeah, that's why they got the arms with me, because I didn't know, I didn't want to say that, because Shawn, I mean, you're in this, it's in city, there's Caesars over the top, and out there is the lights and everything is shining. And I'm getting dressed to go to a Toastmasters. I said, I found the yellow pages. I was remember it was a Wednesday night, and I'm like, Toastmasters meeting. The first place I called, they got no answer. What? The second number? They were like, yes, bachelors and bachelorettes. And they gave me directions, and I got a cab, and I went to that restaurant. And that was in 2019. We were in person, and we became friends on social media. And when that pandemic hit, and I just remember when they went virtual, they called me, they said, Verna, we need one more member. We need one more member to get distinguished. Can you host? And that was it. And it's a time zone, the 3-hour time difference. So when it's 9 in the night in the Bahamas, it's 6 there. So yeah, I'm home. I can catch their meetings, but it's the interaction. And I was able to meet some of them when we went to Nashville convention in person. Yes. It's a family. It's a family. And that's why I try to proudly, I always tell people, represent, wear your Toastmasters pin wherever you go. You would be surprised at who's a Toastmaster, or who would recognize, or who would say, what is that? And you have the opportunity to share and to talk about Toastmasters.
And not only that, Verna, but the way we speak. Like I remember a time I used to tell everybody, I'm a speaker, I'm a speaker, I'm a speaker, I'm a speaker. Now I don't have to say that. It's automatic. They automatic know. Then when I say it, they're like, oh, I just knew that. I just knew that. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even say, but it's hard, it's work. And doing this work, it's rewarding. So the hard work is very rewarding. Mm-hmm. And what you become through the process, because you got to go through the process. There's no cheat in the process. But what you become through the process, it's worth it. It's worth it. And it has really helped me to grow and develop as a man. Like, for example, if something comes up now, I don't have to prepare myself. I'm already prepared. Dealing with bad news or dealing with good news, I know how to approach both situations. In fact, we had an individual, Bernard Campbell. He asked me to do his grandson's eulogy. I was like, wait a minute, never did a eulogy. He said, well, you just do it like you're giving a 5-minute speech in the club. And all I knew about his grandson was he lived like 20-something hours. So the only thing I went off, I had one point, and that was time. And I tell you, when I did that eulogy on time, there was pastors and all these guys that were around say, you keep doing what you're doing. because most pastors don't want to talk about that. Say,
I think the beauty about both of you is you speak from your heart and soul. It's not some prepared thing. And you've done it enough. It's your heart and soul, and it comes across just well received because of that synergy energy, or that little something extra.
Yes.
Question for Verna. Verna, what is your goal in the next 5 years? You know, with life, with you.
You heard me mention earlier when my dad died, and that phrase that you read off when I say live, laugh, love, because tomorrow isn't promised. Christine, when I say my dad unexpectedly, it was the space of I'm talking to you, and if I get him to say, excuse me a minute, I'm going to the restroom, and I go to the bathroom and I come back and my dad is dead. No, it was that. So it wasn't a matter of he was ill or I got a call. No, it was like, okay, see you later. Outside to my vehicle, not gone yet. I hear my mom scream. In an instant, he was gone. And that was 2018. And then 2020, my sister, 2 days before we would have celebrated the second anniversary of my dad's passing, 4 a.m. in the morning, we got a call that my sister was non-responsive. And they say the best laid plans of mice and men. So now I tell persons, we can make all the plans in the world. We can say, this is my 5-year plan, this is my 10-year plan. In the blink of an eye, it's not here today, gone tomorrow. You can be here this morning and gone by this afternoon. And that's why I tell people we must live right, show love, not just use the words, oh, I love you, but it's because it's your actions. So show your family, your friends, those who are important to you. Spend quality time, because we can work, we can be relentless, but when do you find time to just stop and smell the roses? When do you find time to do that? And it was really hard, and because my sister, she left behind two small children. They're 11. They were 9, 11 then. Now they're 11 and 13. Mm-hmm. So I used to tell people I'm allergic to children, but now I can't say that anymore. And it's having to interact and communicate with children who are missing their mother, their children, and they're not always able to communicate to us as adults exactly what it is that they're feeling. But I know they're missing her still. And my mom is still here. When we buried my dad, the day we buried my dad, my parents would have been celebrating their 46th wedding anniversary. Wow. All of that was part of my speech. Who's going to fill these shoes? Because, I mean, her and my dad, they'd been together half a century. Because I think I was like 5 years old when they got married. So half a lifetime. Who's gonna fill those shoes? So all the plans that they'd made for retirement, and they were gonna go on a cruise and those wonderful things, they went out the window. My sister, the plans that she had made, she didn't get to see her son go to junior high, or a daughter. She didn't get to take them to Disney World. And so for me, no, I'm not gonna make that. No New Year's resolutions, and not those long-term things. Let me ask the Lord to let my mom be here, so I can truly honor her while she's here. Give her flowers while she's living, and I can show her and show my other siblings, the family, that hey, this is what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, you have to have that in your life. You have to treat people. Remember, we like to say the golden rule: treat persons the way you would want them to treat you.
Exactly.
Then I heard someone, Shawn, they talked about the platinum rule. They said, no, let's not go. We go beyond. So the platinum rule is to treat persons the way the persons want to be treated. Don't treat them the way you, because my likes are different from yours and from Christine's. So the platinum rule, so treat persons the way they would like to be treated. Show love, give love.
Well, we sure appreciate you. This has been so fabulous. And we are definitely at the end of our hour here, but this has been
Time flies.
It does.
Yeah,
I can go on and listen and everything too. We definitely will have to have you back. That's for sure.
Mhm.
What?
And I'm going to ask each of you, Shawn and Christine, each of you send me a nice photo of your choice and a little, it can be a 3 sentences or a little paragraph. Just tell me about the impact of Toastmasters on you. Like, Christine, I love your story, because let's share it as a part of our club growth initiatives, because we want to encourage persons to join Toastmasters. And I think it's always good when they can see a familiar face to say, you know, I'm a Toastmaster and you can be one too.
Mhm.
And I think that would be good. So if you don't mind that, you can send me that. And
Oh, I would love that. That would be excellent. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want
Of
a
course, of
photo?
course.
And
Yes, and a nice little something, you know, say how has Toastmasters impacted you? And Christine, it was amazing. I saw your Facebook page. And another thing I want to say, that like the Toastmasters, like here in the Bahamas, the Toastmasters actually assist like our Miss Bahamas, our beauty contestants. They assist those contestants table topics, because when
Oh,
you're in those beauty contests, those pageants, you have no idea what question is coming at you. So
mhm.
their system, you know, those table topic sessions help train them and help them become comfortable with taking that pause, thinking of the question, answering, you know, the pivots. And yeah, man. So Toastmasters, good things, good stuff all around.
Well,
All around.
that is a perfect closing statement for our meeting today. I love it. Verna, you have been incredible. And
Thank you.
host,
she
I couldn't
is.
have anyone better but Shawn. Sure appreciate Shawn. In fact, we're going to bring his program on real quick. But first, are you ready to be a speaker? You've heard Verna Bonaby's incredible testimony in Toastmasters. If you're not involved with the club, go ahead and Google Toastmasters. You'll find one right next to you somewhere. And with that, I want to introduce you a little bit more to Shawn. He definitely is a master presenter. And you're going to want him to coach you if you really want to go on to another level. He develops skills necessary to become an effective communicator, overcome the fear of public speaking, better communicate. I mean, he's just there for it all. So you want to reach him, you can go to mrshawnwalker.com, or you can use his phone number. Shawn, let's get that phone number out.
And that phone number is 954-818-2299. 954-818-2299.
Excellent. I appreciate it. Now, the best part is you have a youth program. Let's talk real briefly about Motivating Future Leaders, MFL.
Yes, this is a program that spearheaded, is located in North Lauderdale, Florida. This is a great program where I help you to develop the communication skills necessary to minimize the issues they face amongst their peers, and also they bridge the gaps between adults and their parents. That's right, through communication, we are connecting these youth with their parents and other adults. This program is a 10-week course led by myself, where I teach these kids 10 principles. And during this, they have an activity where they would do after each session we do per week. I'm excited to be doing this program. The kids are amazing. I'm having so much fun with these kids, and I'm looking to broaden this program out to expand it to a Zoom call once a week as well. I'm getting a lot of attraction from parents now that can't make the actual facility. They are inquiring more about maybe possibly doing a Zoom call. I'm looking into that now, but this is an amazing program. I'm just thankful to be able to be a part of their lives.
Excellent, Shawn. We sure appreciate that. And with that, I just want to thank everyone for being here at 9 at Night every Monday night. Again, be thinking about speaking, and while you contact us, just go to 9atnight.com, the number 9ATNIGHT.com, and just email us, and we will definitely get you set up. So with that, I want to say a huge thanks to Verna Bonaby for our guest and my co-host, Shawn Walker.
Yes, thank you as well.